Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect. Today we're diving back into some more Project Architect. So I hope you guys are ready. So first of all, right off the bat, guys, I just want to say a huge thank you. Thank you guys for having so much understanding and support recently. I've been going through a really tough time over the last few days, over the last week. It's been a really tough time. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for having just crazy understanding and support over the last few weeks. And honestly, over the time of my whole channel, you guys have been incredibly supportive. I just wanted to get that out and say thank you guys, of course. But of course, I'm not going to fall short today on bringing some content. So, of course, let's get started on today's video. So first things first, you can definitely see that I have done a little bit of work on the underground area. I'm slowly starting to convert this and using some of those different building blocks to sort of mix and match. And I've completely changed the bedroom here. Some of these blocks, of course, are not going to stay here, like these chip tables. We're going to have a building room specifically for that. And eventually this is going to move too. But this just right now leads right into our mine, which I am using a lot at the moment. So last episode, I set this up. This is a joke. This was just basically to show you guys how the energy condenser can be, how items can be sent into. Today, we're going to be sending several items into it. I'm going to be setting up several different farms today. We're going to have a couple types of crop farms and a tree farm that is going to be set up. And all of those are going to be producing a significant amount of EMC, all of that leading into more building items that we can put forth later on. And I want to have a special way of doing it. And I'm thinking about using Create. Create has incredibly powerful farming tools. So let's dive in and let's first of all, let's make a simple tree farm. And I say simple, and I do mean simple. So getting started with Create, I needed to build myself a little bit of a room. So here I have myself a Create room, and I've placed myself some water wheels, and these water wheels are going to produce the kinetic power that I'm going to need to run this mechanical press. Because if I plan on creating any of the items that I'm going to need, such as these beautiful things, the deployer, I'm going to need some brass sheets. Brass sheets, as you can see right here, they can only be made in this method. And I wanted this to stay this way when I actually made the pack. I wanted brass sheets itself with Create to really only be made this way. You can cast them out, but this is definitely the way to go. And so all I got to do is route the power from one of these out, which I'm probably going to use a gear shift for. So it encases the glass here. And then route that down. Now I have dried kelp with me because this is how we're going to actually make a belt. So let's go ahead and grab that. So how am I going to send this power down? I'm thinking I could probably line this thing up over here. Let's see. I can send the power. Let me get a couple more of the gearboxes because we're going to need several of them. This isn't going to be the fastest press in the world, but it's going to get the job done. So let's make a vertical. Can throw that there, and then we'll have another vertical gearbox down. I thought I just, by the way, almost positive I just made a wrench. Oh wait, no, the wrench requires gold. That's right. So yeah, we have to get this press up before I can even make the wrench that it helps me sort of change the direction of things. All right, so this is going here. Let's go ahead and yeah, we'll send that power down by using another vertical gearbox. And as you can see, it's spinning this way. The only way to change this would be to change the rotation of another gearbox, or I can just turn this and let's go ahead and route this way, saving some space. And there we go. And now we have another gearbox here and a gearbox here. And what I can do, or what I should be able to do, is take a shaft such as this, and I can even stick another shaft here, and then I can connect this belt from here to here. And as you can see, it's nice and spinny. I'm going to go ahead and hook a shaft into this. And on the other side, we need to get this mechanical press powered. So what is a good way to do that? Probably to go ahead and just extend off the top here. Actually, I don't need this one in here. That's one of the problems. I was actually thinking I was going to need that, but no, there we go. So we have the press. All I got to do is take another gearbox, make it a vertical gearbox, place that, and now this is receiving power. It doesn't have to be spinning at the same as this down here. And then all we're gonna do is get some, get some chests, and then maybe some andesite funnels, and I think we should be good. Let's go ahead and use these oak chests. I'm gonna place one here and one here. Grab some andesite casings to set stuff under. And then I don't know how expensive the funnels are, but those would be the best thing to use here. It's just 2 kelp and andesite. So let's grab some of that and the kelp. We already have it. Perfect. So we just slap this onto the chest and over here, and we're ready to go. So I'm going to need brass. So let's go ahead and throw a stack of brass in this bad boy. And that is going to slowly but surely get pressed up. And we have a nice little conveyor belt system running. Look at that. So to get all the things I need for the deployer, which is going to be one of the most expensive things that I end up making for a tree farm, well, we need an electron tube. These aren't too bad, but polished quartz does require you to do a little bit of rubbing. And to get this, it's actually quite simple. You take sandpaper, put it in your offhand, and, well, believe me, you're not eating. It sounds like we're eating, but we're doing some rubbing. And it's kind of odd. You know, I never really thought about that. Like, it does sound like... Eating sounds like rubbing sandpaper. That is such an odd thing to think about. Oh, man. Create just sort of shows off those things. But of course, this can be automated with Create itself. So at this point, I think I have everything to be able to create this beautiful tree farm. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, I just recently did a series on a mod pack that was called Create Above and Beyond. It was an incredibly crazy Create mod pack that was heavily focused around the entire mod. Had crazy recipes and everything like that. It was definitely worth playing around. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check out that playlist. I do have it linked. You can just go to my playlist and it should be the last thing that I played. But it was a lot of fun. I had so much fun building factories and all kinds of craziness. And I'm going to be using the same sort of tree farm that I used for that series, and it was so good. And of course, you can scale this up. I think the bigger you make it, of course, the more EMC this is going to generate overall, because everything this tree farm produces can be turned into EMC, which can be great. Especially since I'm starting to run a little bit low on EMC, I've been doing mining, but I've been doing a reasonable amount of mining, but still, it takes a bit to get there. So this is going to be a 5 wide, and the reason I had to come back over here was because I am missing, I believe, a couple of things. So I have my wood, I have my saw blade. So what we're going to need is saw blades and deployers. I have a mechanical bearing. Oh, I need a water wheel, and I also need some water. So this is, yeah. And then I also need a shaft. There we go. I need a couple of shafts. And I think that's it. Now you can do this with something that's even easier, but you know, for getting started with this is going to be perfect. So let's go ahead and determine where our main area is. I think right here is going to work just fine. And so all I need to do is basically dig down enough so that way I can place down a water wheel. Let's go ahead and plop down in here. Dig ourselves out a little bit of a hole. Perfect. Now, the water wheel can actually go on its side like this. And then all I have to do is place a piece of dirt over here and then hit this with some water and make sure it's spinning with the fins. And we are going to have ourselves some power going here. And then on top of that, I should be able to hook into this a mechanical bearing. Now at first you notice nothing spinning. If I place this on top, notice I had some glue there. Nothing's spinning at the moment. If I right click this, however, it turns it on and now it's spinning. So with that in mind, the thing that I can't see because I don't have a wrench yet, I might have to actually make a wrench to see this. There are actually numbers on here. I want to check this out because I'm almost positive if you put this in your offhand, I want to use andesite casings, by the way. I want to spin this off by 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The thing is, I don't want it to pick up the ground. So let's hope it didn't pick up the ground. And it didn't. And as you can see, because it's glued to it, we are now moving with this whole thing. Now, this farm in itself is pretty fast, and notice it spins in this direction. We need to keep that in mind as we place the saws. So the saws need to go directly next to this because there are going to be trees that I believe are going to be planted right adjacent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is our 5 saws. And now this will actually hurt you. So if you let this spin and hit you, it's going to do some damage. So be sure to keep an eye out on that. You don't want it hurting you. All right. So for the next part, we're going to have our deployers because our deployers need to actually go behind here on the other side. And these are going to be what actually places down our saplings. And we need to make sure to specify that these get saplings. To do that, I can extend up on here. And I am still holding onto the super glue. I'm going to place this up. And I think these have to be 2 blocks off the ground. So not like this. They need to be rotated the other way around. Don't hold shift when placing them. And I'm almost positive that is the direction that they need to be placed. Just like that. And they're all connected to each other. So technically you don't have to have an arm that comes off. I'm probably going to do that just to make it look a little bit nicer so we don't have this like weird glue floating in the air. I think that would look a little bit better. Yeah, so we have this T shape. And just like that. Perfect. Now, in each one of these, there is a filter slot, and I'm going to put a sapling in the filter slot so that way it doesn't try to pick up anything else that ends up in the container. And the thing that's going to go in the container, well, we're going to have a container right here. And this is going to be the storage of this multi-block, because this whole structure, believe it or not, is a working multi-block. So this is basically a tree farm. Pretty much ready to go. The only thing that we need to do is get the items out of this multi-block. So when this thing is spinning, I want to stop it right here because right here is where I want to set up the system that pulls the items that are generated out of here and dumps them in to generate EMC. So to do that, we should be pretty good. Actually, I think the only thing I want to do, I want to plant saplings. Whoa, this guy scared me. I want saplings. Don't you dare kill me. I want to make sure this thing is going to plant saplings. So I just gave it some saplings. Aha. And yes, it does plant saplings. Perfect. I was just wanting to make sure that it was at the right height. Okay. Let's take those out. Probably going to plant some more. But I do want to stop it right here so that way I can get this set up. All right. So I need a few things. I'm going to go grab that alchemy chest and we're going to get this set up. So to interface with this, this multi-block, or contraption, I think this is called contraption. We have a portable storage interface and we need to separate them basically like this with 1 block in between. And so this is actually glued to the contraption, but when it comes around, think of this as allowing it to access its inventory. So it doesn't do anything on its own. But we can set it up to automatically like pull out of this. And there is a mod that is in here that I think would be pretty quick at getting the items out. Basically, I want the items to when it's connected here, I want it to automatically send the items out from here to here incredibly fast. So let's see if we can't afford one of those items, or should I say translocators. So in just like that, we have our self item translocators. Of course, there are several other mods that do the same thing. So we have the original translocators here. And then of course, Industrial Foregoing, believe it or not, has a way of doing it as well, which is pretty cool. Both of them will work. And I'm going to go over here. I would say these are more of an earlier stage. And I'm going to hook this here and here. And then I set this to dump from here to here. And we should be good. The only thing I have to do now is set our EMC. And I'm just going to use an emerald for right now. I think that'll be fine, at least for this. And what this should do once we turn it on is it should start farming some trees. So let's get some saplings, fill this up, and we'll start it off. So saplings, of course, this is going to end up getting turned back into our EMC if there's too many saplings. But overall, this should work. I'm actually pretty stoked to see what this does and how much EMC this actually generates. So let's go. Oh, and by the way, I do recommend setting this section to something that can't be placed on. So that is something that I will do. Let's go ahead and grab, and using a light block would probably be good too over there. Just to sort of keep things nice and bright. I think we have some shroom lights. These shroom lights look really good, by the way. They come from the chipped mod. So now that I have this, I need grass, and I think that's it to sort of close off the tree farm. Look at it, it's already working. Oh, and I needed, I almost forgot, I needed some blocks. Let's do stone brick. Probably be a good block to use. I'm going to turn this off real quick. Turn it off right there. That'll be fine. Yeah, right here, you kind of, I've found that you don't really want anything building up right there because it can start to cause some issues with blocks being placed right here. Because you don't want a tree to build up and it'll block this, and then your tree farm just sort of stops working. So, just like that, and we're good to go. We can turn it back on. Now, for some strange reason, it wouldn't actually let the translocators work on here. So I have to find another solution it's going to be temporary, but this solution will definitely work. I'm going to place the energy condenser down here, and I'm going to have an andesite funnel that drops the item directly on top. And if I set this funnel to go this way by holding shift, I can access this, put an emerald inside, and then this should be able to drop down in here. Now, this isn't the best way to do this, but it's going to get the job done for now. And we're going to see it come. It's going to start working here in a second. It will stop and drop all of the items until it runs out of items to drop. So at least that's a good thing. So it's going to continue to drop. What we want, though, is we don't want andesite funnels. We want another type of funnel, which is the brass funnels. So let's go get those. That'll allow us to send out more than just a single item at a time. And just like this, all I have to do is place that. And then right here, place this going the other way. There we go. So now we should have a much more efficient farm. Once I turn this back on and get out of the way. Oh, goodness. Yeah, these brass are a lot nicer. As you can see, we can do like scroll up to 64, which I think by default, it's unlimited. Like it'll be 64. Yeah, as you can see, it does all of the items and then it'll get back in its rotation so much quicker. And there we go. It's so much faster that this even has to take some time. Now, like I said, there is a better energy condenser, but this will do the trick for right now. And this little setup should work just fine. Now, there is one thing in here from Druidcraft that I think should help this grow even faster. And that is the lamp of growth here. Does cost a little bit to get into, and we do have rock root, which I did find while mining. So 4 emeralds is the cost and some blaze. And yeah, we should be able to make one of these, and it's perfect. It's a 5x5. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, right? And then later on, we could accelerate these things to speeds that we probably shouldn't do just from this mod alone. Let me see. I want this to stop. And then I'm going to place this on here. Now, this is not directly connected to this. Or it is. Because it is spinning with it. I don't want it necessarily spinning with it because that means it's connected. How am I going to connect this? Can I place it on here while it's spinning? It's in that block. Okay. Is it actually doing anything in that block? It is in there. Interesting. I don't think that's how that's intended to work. But that was in there. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna have to do something to get this to be placed in here that's not connected to this like casing or anything. So I found a way to connect it that doesn't connect to this. It was kind of an odd thing to do, but it has to be hanging in some sort. So there it is. And it is actually working, and it should help grow the saplings faster. I mean, that's the theory anyways. So I'm thinking the only way that I can speed this up even more is potentially using sprinklers from Cyclic, which I have been working on getting all the materials made up for, and slowly but surely getting them crafted up here. And a fluid hopper. See, that's such an odd thing, right? A chest and bricks, which I have plenty of those. And there we go. So fluid hopper. Let's go ahead and I'm going to actually add these. I know right now I'm just kind of crafting, but so this thing uses water, and it should be able to pull from a source block of water. So we need some buckets and a couple of the sprinklers. I'm going to try 4 for right now and see how these work. So what you do is you put a source block underneath and it should work. And so I was thinking about putting a sprinkler like right here on the corners. And to do this, all I'm going to need is to place the sprinkler down like that. And then we have to place the source block of water underneath, which is literally just like this. And that should start working. And technically, that's on. It's doing its thing. It may not look like it, but it should be doing its thing, I think. Now, if I really wanted to get the most bang for my buck as far as EMC goes, of course, I should take it through a sawmill because I would get a nice little bonus on my wood. Now, this is technically kind of a way of duplicating, I guess, EMC, but it's not enough that I think it would be a late game strategy for sure for generating EMC. I could, you know, when I say that, I could see like a person that's got like this massive like saw farm. Oh my gosh, and they're just generating like thousands upon thousands of EMC like just from that. But yeah, no, there are passive ways in here of generating tons of EMC. And of course, this is just a simple way to just kind of just let set and forget about while we work on other projects. Well, guys, of course, with this all set up, there's tons more to do. I think next episode, we'll be setting up some other farm stuff. I think I want to get some farms, and then I want to build around these things. I actually want this to be its own building, but I really got to take into account how tall this thing is going to get. Probably going to incorporate some sort of greenhouse glass or something like that. But anyways, I do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to be a huge thanks that is going to go to Orange. Thank you so much for your amazing support, my dude. Appreciate hanging out with you, by the way, over on the Discord. If you didn't know, by the way, that I do have a Discord, and I do hang out over there. I do hang out in voice chat, like specifically Orange. Like we hang out in voice chat like all the time. So be sure to check out the Discord. It is discord.gg/ChosenArchitect. And believe me, you are bound to see me in the voice channels. I do hang out there quite a bit in my time while I'm recording videos and all kinds of stuff. So it's a great way for me and you or whoever to interact and get to know each other and play games and all kinds of fun stuff. I do love just hanging out with the community I built. Why would I literally build a community to not hang out with you guys? So anyways, be sure to check that out. And while you're there, we do have a vanilla SMP server, which is absolutely banging. So be sure to check that out. And of course, guys, I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. Man, we're so close. We're so close to 500,000 subscribers, and I can't wait to get there with you guys. Thank you so much for your amazing support. I'll see you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.